Hello everybody, welcome back to Friday with Dannphan. Yes, I know, I really should get like a video intro for these kind of streams. I keep on saying, yeah, at some point I gotta get to that. At some point I gotta do that, but I never really do. It's one of the issues, I guess, with constantly juggling all these different things and not being able to prioritize other things, but that's fine. We're gonna get back to doing regular-ish videos soon. As I mentioned before, we'll get back to some read-throughs mid-February. You can get excited about that. The two videos that I have cooking up in the background right now is a continuation of reading Nothing But Nightwing. Should be called a nothing burger because there ain't nothing going on in that comic series. I can tell you that right away. And then Avengers Academy, because oh boy, that Avengers Academy is legitimately just a never-ending mine of just cringe and strangeness. But there are also a couple of new DC YAs that I just never got around to touching. So I'm gonna dig into those sometime soon. I think the next one on the list that I said I was gonna do was The Strange Case of Harleen and Harley, who I had a friend read. I had a friend read that one. He said it was awful, so good stuff awaiting us. And then there's the Blue Beetle one. I forget what the Blue Beetle one is called, but there's a Blue Beetle DCYA as well. And apparently it's the worst one. Apparently that is the worst DCYA. I don't know much about Blue Beetle, but apparently they fucked it up really hard. So these are all fantastic new cringe to dive into for the future read-throughs. So I'll have to be taking a look at those. I also have like a few normal comic reviews I'd like to put out there. And this one anime review video that I think would be pretty darn fun if I get around to doing it. I gotta finish watching something first, but yes! So these are all videos you can look forward to coming up sometime soon. I'm going to be editing them over this weekend and have them out next week. I think I'll probably upload the first video being Nothing But Nightwing, and I think I might do that on Valentine's Day. Not sure how you feel about that, because Valentine's Day is a Friday. So you get video, and then you get Dannphan stream. Or you could just get video. I don't know if I'll have to, for whatever reason, cancel Friday stream. You know, sometimes things pop up. But that's something. And then maybe, I don't know. Maybe depending on when I'm finished the next video, just upload it immediately after. But yeah, good stuff coming your way, guys. So hope everybody is having a fantastic Friday so far, anyways. Friday's still going on. Yay, Nightwing, yes. Perfect timing, just got a shower in time for the stream. What about Lex in the City? I don't think that's a real comic, but I'm curious that it might be. Lex in the City. Dear God. It's not funny anymore. What the fuck? Are you serious? Why am I still surprised when this happens? Why am I still surprised? Honestly. Alright, here we go. Lex in the City. There it is. Obvious pun is obvious. Alright. As Superman flew away yet again, I had to wonder, Was I trying to destroy him, or was he destroying me? What? How could you write a worse first opening line to your summary? It's Valentine's Day, which means that love and heartbreak are sweeping every city in the DCU. This anthology oh my god, it's an anthology. This anthology collects 8 stories of heroes and villains looking for love in the big city, which practically feels like its own character. Lex Luthor laments over the one that got away. The big, ever-elusive metropolitan man, Superman. But, what? Are they trying to say that, that Lex wants to fuck Superman? Or, if these are supposed to be romance stories, is that the implication? Am I thinking too much into it? They are introducing this as though these are romance stories. So, why would you do that? Raven and Beast Boy embark on a romantic scavenger hunt across San Francisco, which just might be a trap. And Damian Wayne runs a dating advice gauntlet through Gotham City, organized by none other than the dating master himself, Tim Drake. What? Gather your gal pals, pour yourself a Cosmo, and hit your nearest comic shop. DC's Lex and the City, coming this January. Fuck. Well, there you have it, folks. We have Lex and the City is real. I thought it was just a joke. It's real. It's real. My bad. Yep, there it is. Awful company makes awful comic. Water is wet. When's the Harley Quinn fart comic read through? I don't think that comes out until April. But yeah, unfortunately, I will have to read that. I just have to. Yeah. Still at work? Thank God you're streaming. I was getting bored. Hell's Lex in the City. Yeah, right? God. I really thought it was just celebrity. I was like half and half where I'm like, okay, that sounds like someone's making a joke. But at the same time, I wouldn't put it past actual DC to be the ones making that joke because they're not funny at all. I suspect the target audience for this will give it a good non-reading. Yep. And people wonder why I hate romance stories. Not all of them are bad! That's the thing, not all of them are bad. It's just like this recent wave of, I don't know, psychos who keep on writing romance to, like, spread their psycho ideology. Not BB Ray stuff. Sorry, I am a hater. Thanks, Mark. When did Dannphan become a Tumblr review channel? What Twilight Zone did I enter? Well, apparently it is a real DC comic. Crazy, isn't it? It's insane what they put out these days. I'm not against. All right, to be clear, I'm not against any type of superhero universe trying to do a jokey side comic. But when you're working with a established universe, and these are the rules and the barriers that you set for yourself, you didn't have to set these rules, but you did, and you're sticking with them, you should try to make it make sense within the context of the universe, and not just constantly being like, oh, it's a new universe, oh, it's a new universe, oh, it's a new universe. Whenever anything doesn't make sense, that's their go-to, is, oh, well, it's another universe where all the characters are exactly the same, except Superman's gay for Lex Luthor. This is the only thing that changed. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But you know what? Infinite possibilities. Yeah. As I've been following for the past few years, DC and Marvel are at this constant battle with each other to put out the most cringe comic. I think DC is winning. At the moment, I think DC is winning. Marvel's trying to catch up. They're doing their best with Avengers Academy. That's real cringe. That's real toxic stuff. But I think DC is still, they're beating quantity over quality of cringe. Because DC has a lot more cringe coming out all at once. Marvel perhaps has more potent cringe coming out. But, you know. Yeah, people who are too selfish to actually love others reading romance. I'll make sure to use that excuse if something is wrong with my comics. It's a new universe. Yes, absolutely. Every time you, like, write a plot hole, it's like, no, I didn't write a plot hole. It's just a new universe. It's just different. I switched universes mid-series. That's why this plot hole exists. The new Shazam is pretty wild and cringe. Is it? I don't know. I didn't know there was a new Shazam comic out. Most of my DC read-throughs, honestly, have been the YA stuff. YA, I guess, like the 12+ comics is how they list them, usually, on their website. It's crazy to me that Nothing But Nightwing is listed as 12+. I mean, granted, it is immature. It's very immaturely written. But the themes that it's trying to tackle just don't fit what I would assume 12-year-olds would enjoy. It's so good. I didn't even mention it in my first read-through, but he, like, obviously is pulling out a beer from the freezer. And then, I guess at some point, they were like, oh, no, you can't do that. That's not kid-friendly. All these other things that you've done in the comic, that's kid-friendly, but pulling out a beer, an obvious beer, no. You're gonna have to switch that label out and have it say Mr. Freeze Cola, so that kids think it's soda in the freezer. They fixed it, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry, parents. He's not encouraging your kids to drink. Of all the things in that comic, that's what got censored, the beer. Priorities. I don't know what's going on, man. Yeah, it's by that extension, it looks like they're competing to see who files for bankruptcy first. Oh man, true enough. They're at the race. They're going at it with each other. I used to read a lot of romance manga, but I found it 100% was making me feel even more shitty about my singleness, so I really cut back. Yeah, I guess part of it also, like, depends. There's, like, when you read something that you want is sometimes it can inspire you to go out and get that thing that you want or be that person that you want to be. And then there's also the opposite effect that sometimes it has, where it just makes you feel like you're failing at life, and because, like, this fictional character has something you want and you don't. And I guess that's the envious effect versus, like, the inspirational effect. They kind of battle each other out depending on what mood you are in. And that's why you go through these things in cycles in the first place, to make sure that nothing is really keeping you down, but pulling you up. That's what you got. That's what you need. You need to pull yourself up. Yeah, an adult pulling beer out of the freezer is more inappropriate than a stripper. According to DC, yes. Absolutely. And speaking of romance comics, can't wait for the Way Long Back. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. Love to draw. For everybody else, the Way Long Back is a series on Burning Star Comics. It's about this couple, high school romance or high school sweethearts. That's the word I was looking for. High school sweethearts. She goes off to college. He has ties with the Russian mob. He goes to see her. Mob comes after him and goes after her. He's got to save her now. All good stuff. All good stuff coming from Anthony Norris and P.R. Dedelis, who is the artist. Oh my god, his art is so good. I love his art, and they work really well together with capturing this like kinda washed out 90s feel. I love the look of this comic, genuinely. Looks really good. Anyways, so what's happening that's super special this day is that 2 new issues are going to be dropped on the website. Right now we have issues 1 through on the website. We're going to get issues 4 and 5 up there as well. Even more so, we're looking to get those physical copies up there. And some of these are going to be left over from Anthony's campaigns. We're going to, like, you know, sell the back orders, what's left over on the website. And then we're also going to prepare pre-orders to get like paperback versions or yeah, basically trades if you want to collect the entire series in physical, or if you'd like to just get the separate issues, the floppies. We're gonna have some variants, and it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be real nice. I love owning stuff that I love in physical. I think it's very important for a lot of people. And for now, we only have the digital versions, but we're gonna get some physical copies up there. So look forward to all of these things. Chat, stop slacking with the likes. Hell yeah. You tell them. Yep. What new issues coming soon? Absolutely. Let's see. I like the art of the way long back. I thought it was a high school romance for some reason. So, like, it's kind of doing both. So, what we have is they meet in high school and they're high school sweethearts. But then, you know, graduation. She goes to college and he still has 1 year of high school. And she moves away to go to her dream school, etc. And as they're apart, we get more and more flashbacks of their romance in high school. Like, of them getting together and bonding and, you know. So we get this, like, nice balance of the romance and then the drama of the present day, where he's trying to, like, get to her before the Russian mob can get to her. And, you know, it's kind of showing... How would I explain this verbally? I know what I'm thinking. It's just one of those things where you have trouble putting the thoughts into words. You need to show a reason for the audience to care about the character. And part of the way that you do that is by showing how much this character means to another character and their bond together. You know what I mean? So I think there's a good balance between these flashbacks that are establishing their bond and how much they love each other, and then the present day when you have all this drama and intensity trying to make sure that she's safe, they're both safe, and that they end up together happy and away from the Russian mob, you know? So I like it. It's a good series. We plan to do 8 issues total. It might change, it might get lower, but for now, 8 issues is the goal. And, yeah, so right now he's up to, like, issue 5, almost done issue 6, just kind of waiting for some art. And I think he'll be campaigning for that too, if you want to get a jump on owning issue 6 when he campaigns. He's on another campaign right now, though. Busy beaver. Absolutely busy guy. But he gets it done. Yeah. I do like my indie comic cube on my shelf. Yeah, you know, honestly, we have, like, Adam had this for a long time before I even met him. But it's like this tiny comic rack. And I thought that would be a really neat thing to put in the background, is to like hang comics on the comic rack thing, right? But I have to put it on top of something so that it would be in view of the camera. And it's just kind of too bulky. It won't fit on here. Unless you don't want it to spin. Nah, it won't fit on there. Usually what we do is we would take it to conventions and we'd have the comic rack there. But people are kind of weird about the comic rack. I don't know why. They're always like super hesitant to touch the comics on there, like it's for display, like they're not supposed to touch the comic rack. So they're like, ooh, I don't want to touch that. And sometimes people go to like spin it, but they go to spin it like so gently that they're like, oh, it didn't move immediately, I guess it doesn't spin. But no, it's just, I don't know, it's just a little bit old. It just requires a little bit more force to spin it. It's not like, you know, it's not a lazy Susan. It's, apply more muscle. Anyway. So we're probably gonna give up on using the comic rack at conventions entirely, just because people are kind of weird about it. Right now we have this different stand where it is nicer, and I think it displays the books a little bit better. I don't know if I can find a post where I show it. It's so difficult to find your old posts sometimes. Maybe if I look through my like media, I'll find it somewhere going far enough back. Because I usually take pictures when I'm at a convention. Ah! There's a handsome picture of Adam here as well. Alright. So that's the rack. This one. Yeah. So that's kind of nice. I think it displays the books pretty nicely overall. And no need to spin a comic rack in order to see them all, so maybe that's better. This is a much more simpler display in general. Just brought the things that we thought would do well. We have a lot of stuff we can sell in general. A lot. So sometimes it's a little bit, what do I pick, you know? What's gonna sell nicely at this thing? I guess that's always kind of a strategy in of itself, is to pick the right product to bring to place. But yeah. The printed version of Longback, a floppy or perfect bound or manga size. So what he did for the campaigns is he printed them in floppies, as floppies. Ugh, my dialogue, dear God. So we're selling the leftover copies of those for like what I want officially on the Burning Star website. I wanted like perfect bound paperbacks, collection of all of the issues. Or it could be like one book, but it probably would be better as like 2 volumes, because it's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick series overall. So that's my general plan. And it won't be manga size, it'll be like Sonic City Witch sized. I do want to lean towards manga size in the future, but he does have all colored pages, all colored interiors. So I feel like it'd probably be better just to do that. Ah. Yeah, as a kid, I spun the squeaky comic rack at the drugstore without mercy. Yeah, it's fun. It is fun to spin the rack. I don't know why people are so nervous about it. There was somebody who almost knocked it over a couple times, but like, I don't know, man. Most people, I would assume, would be a little bit careful. Some people are a little bit too careful to the point where they can't spin it. It's one of those things. Man, I want to get involved in tabling, but I sort of need a finished comic or book to sell. Yeah, or just art in general. You know, you can sell, a lot of people at these tables aren't even necessarily selling comics or stories or anything. Most of them are selling prints and stickers and keychains and stuff like that. And sometimes if you just have a really good art piece or a really cute, easy thing that people can look at and be like, yes, this is what I like. Sometimes that's all you need, honestly. Man, most of the time, because every now and then I'll watch these vlogs on YouTube because it's something I'm generally interested in. I'll watch these vlogs on YouTube about people who make good money going to these conventions. Like actual good money. Like pulling in thousands and thousands of dollars. And most of the time, big portion of the time, they're just young women who sell super cutesy stuff to other young women. I swear, it's always the super cutesy, ootsy type of tables. Like, they always use some variation of kawaii to describe their store. They're always like pink and white layouts every single time. I respect the hustle, I do. Honestly, I think women are easier to sell to. Maybe that's just because I'm a woman. I don't know. I have a hard time selling to anybody. I mean, I'm not actually as good of a salesperson as I'd like to be, especially in person. I think I'm a little bit better trying to sell things over the internet just because I'm maybe able to be a little bit more genuine over the internet. But like once I have the pressure of actually talking to somebody one-on-one, not as good of a performance. Ah, man, it's got the hiccups. Sorry. I'll drink some water. Ah, there we go. It's a little bit better. Ugh. Anyway, so I need to definitely work on getting better at selling in person so I can do much better at these conventions. A lot of people say it doesn't even really matter that much how you sell, so much as it matters that you're just like available to take money and have a nice booth. That's what a lot of people say. I don't know if it's actually 100% true. Maybe they're just such good salespeople and they don't even realize it. But yeah, apparently they say that it's all about just how nice and pleasant your booth looks that will get people to walk up to it. And that is important, for sure. Our booth, it looks okay, right? But maybe it's just not as attractive as the pink and white ootsy cutesy type of stuff. Yeah, maybe we need more like bright, saturated colors to attract people, like those Cocomelon videos. They just jank up the saturation to 1,000,000 and then people are just eyes glued to the screen. That's what we need for our booth. We need to distort reality so that the saturation is just higher in the vicinity of our booth, and then that'll cause people to come closer, by far. Yeah, selling in person is a special type of riz. That's true. Adam is really good at talking to people in person. He's generally a pretty charming person. In general, he can hold conversations and hold people's attention pretty well. But, you know, it's hard to even get people to come over in the first place to have those conversations. Which of your products is usually most popular? Honestly, the Horizon Quest comics. These sell the most. When we're at these conventions, anyway. Everybody wants the Horizon Quest comic. There's a couple of reasons for that, but I think the main reason is because it has a story behind it, right? There's the story, but then there's the story about how the story was made. And that is that Adam wrote it and I drew it, and we are dating. And, you know, oh, we're an ootsy cutesy couple who made a comic together. And I think people really like that. They like attach to that, and they're like, oh, well, it'll feel really good if I buy this and I support the couple that makes comics together, you know? So Horizon Quest tends to sell the most at the conventions out of everything. I would think that posters would sell a lot better, but they don't. They don't sell that great. And part of it is because it imprints nowadays, because I guess they last longer, or I don't know, they just feel better in people's hands. But yeah, and people are always a little bit nervous about posters, like, oh, I don't want you to fold it, I don't want you to roll it up, I'll be able to hold it flat the whole time. I bring rubber bands because I'm prepared to roll up the poster, but yeah, you know, they're not as much of a sales grabber. What would I even say? They're not as much of a selling point as other things. I think just being a large part of it as someone who buys stuff. Yeah, no, that is a big part for sure, because I hate it when people sell to me. I know that's a bad thing to say when I'm also trying to sell to people, but I hate it when people sell to me and they're not being genuine. They're putting on this mask and they're saying like the lines they're supposed to say. What bothers me even more is it probably works out better for them, maybe just depending on the personality type that's going up to that person. Maybe that works for most people. It doesn't work for me. I hate it. I will run away into hiding forever. I will never return to your table if you try to do this fake salesperson act to me. Ugh, hate it. But I can imagine there are other people out there that it works for. I don't want to do it that way, but maybe I should. Oh, don't like it. Maybe you should put Adam in a dress. Sure, certainly would attract attention, wouldn't it? Oh, hey, big lurker here. Love everything you do, love everything you do. Can't wait to see what you do next. Aw, such kind words from the big lurker. Oh, God. That's nice. It's nice just to hear nice things every now and then. Thank you. I could see it. First impressions count for a lot, and the appearance of your booth plays into that. Yeah, that's true. I want to make our booth look really good. I don't know how to do that. I'm like putting in a plan to make our booth look better. Right now I don't really got anything, but ideas. I have ideas, right? One of the things that I thought would be really nice is because we have a lot of fantasy-based books, like basically the majority of our books that we sell are fantasy-based. And I thought, well, maybe we should style the table to look fantasy-like. And there are ways we can do that. Part of the thing I thought was, oh, I'll get like the fancy table runner. Not sure how like I'm gonna organize that, but I have it, and I guess we'll try to figure it out next time. And then another thing I thought, you know, maybe Adam can 3D print stuff to serve as like display things around the booth. But then again, is that just taking up space and annoying us? I don't know. Some people like to do like this fake tent thing around their booth, and I like the fake tent thing, but it also seems like such a bitch to set that up every time. Let me Maybe I can find an example somewhere of this fake tent thing. Somewhere. What? Wait a minute. What am I doing searching on Brave search? I should know better. You have to go to Yandex. It's the only way. It's the only way to get, like, good search results. This is not exactly what I'm looking for, but it is better. We're going in the right direction. Thank you, Yandex. Alright, Alright, we went backwards. Forwards. Okay. Let's see if I can find this goddamn fake tent. Stop showing me pictures of anime waifus. Oh, this is neat. This is not... Okay. This is not what I was referring to, but I will show this because I think this is neat. It looks like they have some sort of cardboard, like, cutout thing? Or is that a banner? No, I think it's... I don't know. Maybe it's an illusion of the eye, but I think it actually is just cardboard that they attached onto their thing. This is, obviously, this is a tablecloth. But yeah, that looks really cool. I will say, I would not go up to this table because it's furry shit. But I appreciate the design of this table. I think they did a really good job here. Let me see. Where's the fake tent shit? Oh, you know what? There's like this, there's this YouTuber who does the fake tent shit. What is that YouTuber's name? It's Ink something. There's too many YouTubers, art YouTubers, with the name like Ink in their fucking user, and I get them all confused with each other. Where's this son of a bitch? God damn it. I'm subscribed to too many people. I'm gonna need to start unsubscribing to you guys. Sorry, but this is too much. I feel like I just watched him not too long ago. Why would it be so far down in the first place? Or is it one of those things where I didn't actually subscribe to him, but like YouTube shows me all his videos and makes me think that I'm subscribed to him? Because they won't stop showing me all his videos? I don't know. Did I mention that YouTube doesn't work nowadays? Alright, well, let me try this. God. Sorry, I saw someone's booth that made me cringe. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright, well... I'm having issues finding a good example. If I could remember what that ink guy's name was, it would be a little bit easier, but I can't. I can't for the life of me remember what the fuck that YouTuber was called, and YouTube won't show me who he is. So all hope is lost, guys. We're never gonna find the information that we need. Maybe if I just type in comic convention vlog, he'll show up. No. No, he didn't show up. It's all these... Oh god, ugh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hate YouTube. Can we move on to a different platform already? It shouldn't be this hard to, like, find things on YouTube, honestly. Terrible. Anyway. I'm done with that. It's too much all at once. Let me see. I like the smaller prints. I bought a larger print at my last con, and I don't have room to put it up. Yeah, like, no wall room is the issue. I mean, granted, I don't have wall room to put up everything, but part of it is also just me being lazy. I do have more stuff I can put up on the wall. Remove some stuff and switch them out. That's usually how I like to go about things in general. But I like owning art. I like it even more when it's original art. Original art on the wall it has like this specialty to it, right? But posters are something that's like easily disposable, that I don't really feel too bad about like hanging up and then when it's too old just taking it down and throwing it out. As brutal as that might sound, I don't know. You get your use out of it and then it's like, eee. Smaller prints can fit into frames easier too. Now, if I did a smaller print for the Reaper Book 2 campaign, would you prefer that? Would that actually be preferable to posters? Because I usually do the nice big posters on the wall, 1, 2, 3, you know. But would you actually prefer a smaller print? Because I can do that. That is very easy. I can make this change. Vote in chat right now if you would like me to do that. Have you and Adam ever considered getting a booth at Heroes Con? It's North Carolina. Great con, creator focused. I feel like I have heard of that before. North Carolina is a little bit far, obviously. That would be quite a drive. But it is something to consider, I guess. What's the sign-up period look like? Are they still accepting new sign-ups? Heroes Con. Oh boy. This is a really old website, huh? Alright. Oh yeah, well there's no way I'll be able to like get in now. It's happening in June. I don't think that's enough time to sign up. I don't think anyway. I mean, like, I'm up for trying out new conventions, for sure. The only thing about going to a convention that's like super far away is it's gotta be that much more worth it. And right now we're not at the point where going to any convention is that worth it. As sad as that sounds, we're mostly just doing it for the experience of, you know, just to do it and sell in person and learn how this stuff works and get better as we go and try to extend our audience, figure out who exactly our audience is, have these conversations, meet people, get connections. There are other like reasons to go to conventions other than bringing in the money, but the money helps make it worth it. So yeah. Do you have a big canvas sign for the back of the booth? We have one. We have a roll-up sign that has like a little collage of some of our books and comics. We've only really used it for Garden State Comic Con. I think that's the only one that we've actually used it at. Because a bunch of conventions we went to were like outside, and it's a fairly new sign. We haven't had like that many opportunities to actually use it. But yeah, next time, for sure. I think it would be a good idea. Yeah, was reading my Bible recently, came upon Ichabod, made me laugh because I pictured your character around all these Bronze Age Middle Easterners. Oh yeah, well. You know how it be. It's not gonna be a 1-for-1. But, you know. You guys could make a Fantasy Tavern style booth with lights. That's an interesting idea. I could actually probably have Adam 3D print out like lanterns, and I could put like you know how they have those fake candle lights that are like battery operated. I could put those in there and like put them at the corners of the table. I don't know if that's like enough in of itself to like attract people to the booth, but you know, that's an interesting, you're onto something, Celestial Creator. Cool name. But yeah. Yeah, Google is terrible at searching for things as well. How much room do you have? Not much room. Not much. As shitty as it is, have you considered animation for your stories? Yeah. Animation is a lot more expensive than comics are, for sure. It's, you know, it's kind of like one of those things. Illustrations are your base point, and then comics, more expensive. Animation, more expensive. It just keeps on going up, you know? I originally got into comics as kind of a transition from me originally being interested in animation. So you might or might not notice some influence from animated works leaking into my comic works. Somebody said that that my comics feel like cinematic, and maybe that's part of it. I'm not sure. Have you thought about streaming old games like Bully or Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time trilogy? We do have a gaming channel. It's the Dannphan's channel. I can't say that it's a super successful channel. We don't keep up with it as much as we'd like to, but we try to stream every now and then at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard, nighttime. Good stuff, good stuff. Although I'm usually very, very tired by the time we get to the end of the stream and it's like 1 a.m. You can imagine. But yeah. Hi, what is the name of your new webcam? I did watch your older VOD of your live stream. You said you have a new webcam, but not the model. So it is a Logitech. It's not fancy smancy. I like over exaggerated when I originally said that I had a new fancy webcam. The fancy part is just that it was 1080p. That was about it. It's just like some okay, but not actually the latest and greatest technology or anything. Still not much better than just using, I don't know, your phone or something. If you add the tent thing to the tavern feel, yeah, the tent thing, you know, it is effective. It's very effective. It just seems like such a bitch to set up. And I guess that's like a petty reason to not want to do something. But, you know, we already have like a lot that we carry in whenever we're getting set up, so it's like, yeah, one of those things. Anyway, we are heading close to the end of the live stream, so I guess we should be taking questions. Ask me questions, things that you need to know about the Dannphan channel, or any news when it comes to comics coming out on Burning Star. Just any general questions, I guess, that you have for me. Now is the time. Ugh. Speaking of questions, I should be opening up the Reaper Book 2 Q&A. Ah, yes. Some of you remember Book 1 had the Q&A section. We can do that for Book 2 as well. See? Q&A with the creator. So self-indulgent. I do like the manga SBS though, because you get to like learn more stuff about like the story you're reading, which, you know, maybe sometimes you don't have enough time to really put certain details in your story, but then you can just have certain details in your answers when you get these questions. I think it's a good idea. Maybe it's just me. That's fine. As someone who doesn't know how to write books or comics, but has a shitload of stories to tell, how would I get started? Well, you get started by writing some of your stories down. That's the simplest way. If you want to write it in a style of a comic, you write it in like kind of a script format where you just label out page 1 and then panel 1, this is what happens, panel 2, this is what happens, etc., etc. It is something that you learn as you go. You have people give you feedback, correct you when you're not doing like the right thing or the right going about a story the right way. All storytelling, it's gonna take a while to get good at. And you have to be prepared to spend years being very bad at it before you start getting good. And yeah, that's the big thing. A lot of people give up before they can start getting good because they see it as a big time sink to spend all this time learning and taking feedback, and you know, not everybody's gonna be just good at everything right immediately. It just doesn't happen. Everything takes time and learning and patience. Patience is so big. Patience and hope and all of that good stuff, man. When's your next con appearance? Garden State Anime Fest? I think Anime Fest is before Comic Fest. Whichever one of those is first. We're going to be going to both of them. We're going to Garden State Anime Fest and Garden State Comic Fest. I just can't remember which one comes first. They're marked on the calendar, so I'll realize when they are as soon as I open my calendar. But there you go. Now you're prepared for both of them. Any chance of coming out to Washington State? Not anytime soon, exactly. At art fairs, I used to use a digital photo frame that could play videos. I've seen that before. Yeah. I used it to show videos of me drawing. It didn't increase sales, but it did bring a lot more people to my table. Yes, that is an interesting idea. I've seen people use like iPads for that as well, where they just have a video on loop and it's like a collage of different artworks that they have done, or, you know, different video footage of them drawing. And kind of the nice thing about that is if you're also using the iPad to check people out, it kind of has a double use. And then when it's just, you know, when you're just passively trying to attract people to your table, you can just have it playing a video on loop. I used to have an iPad, but now my mother has it. Maybe I should ask for it back, honestly. But I don't know. She might just be one of those people who are like, no, you gave it to me. No takesies backsies. You know how it is. But it is an interesting thought. I think people are attracted to like videos and moving things. Our eyes are trained to pick up things in movement, so that in of itself is a reason for people to be more attracted to like looking at a video that's playing. I know you're not a political channel, but have you heard the stuff about the US aid being exposed? Yes. A lot of anti-gamer journalist sites being funded by US taxpayers? Yes. Yes, so the big one was like Anita Sarkeesian, right? Now we know that she was actually being paid a shitload of money by the government. It kind of makes sense, right? Because you're always wondering, like, how are you succeeding when everybody doesn't like you? Nobody wants to give you money, so how are you succeeding? How aren't you bankrupt? And now you got the answer. It's because you're being backed up by the government. So that was interesting, I'll give it that. There's a lot of really crazy stuff that was revealed when it came to the USAID spending money, a lot of money overseas for political reasons, and embezzling money, just straight up donating it to themselves. Don't know what that... That's kind of clear cut, like, not okay, huh? But you know, you're right, I'm not a political channel, so it's, I'm just glad that, you know, it's, whatever corruption was found is gonna be undone. Yeah. You ever get frustrated at others telling you how you should tell your story? I don't. I like seeing it through other people's perspectives, but I always take it with a grain of salt. Where, you know, like sometimes people are like, you shouldn't write it like this, you should write it like this, and here's why. And I don't really pay attention to how they say I should write it, so much as I pay attention to them explaining why they think it should change. Like, what is actually wrong with the original. And I reach my own conclusions on how I can change it to fix what, in their mind, paints it as wrong. Unless, of course, they are they have, like, really weird reasons for not liking it. Then I just, you know, won't really. There is some criticism that you don't have to take at face value. Some people are just weird. You know, like writing romance into a story and then you get some like weirdo who's like, ew, romance. No story should have romance in it ever. Otherwise it's bad. It's like, okay, well, that's a hot take. Most people don't agree with that. So can't really take you that seriously at that point. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me live on Friday with Dannphan 125. Let's go! We've been pumping out these Friday streams for a long time. It feels good. It feels good. We're getting all sorts of progress being done here on the Dannphan channel. We're gonna get back to doing some videos, guys, and I have the best videos for you coming up soon. And yeah, more drawing streams in the future, right? We're gonna get Reaper Book 2. We're gonna get ready for campaigning pretty soon. I'm thinking late March. I don't want to commit to a date yet. Because you know what it is? I was looking to do a trailer, a special trailer for the campaign page, because I didn't really get to do the special trailer that I wanted to do for the first book. So I want to do it for this book. I've been talking to this one voice actor who's like pretty up there, you know, in terms of like, would be cool if I could get you to voice Ichabod. He responded to me back right away when I first messaged him. Now I haven't really heard from him in a while though. So, kind of up in the air whether or not I'm actually gonna be able to get him to voice the character, but I think it would be really cool if he could. I won't name drop him because I don't want to put any public pressure on this guy. And yeah, I have 2 other characters that I need voices for. If anyone's interested, my DMs are always open. And I might try to just semi-animate it myself. I have Clip Studio X now, so I can actually use the animation features. And I don't really think I'll do anything too crazy animation-wise. So maybe I should just, like, save myself some money and do it myself. That'll probably be better overall. But yeah, so we can look forward to that. I was here painting a giant Medusa. Great show. Thanks, Ray. Always good to have you on board. I love that you had guest artists in Reaper Book 1. Will we get a guest artist in book 2? Good question. Good question. I do have, hang on. I'll answer this one question because it is like somewhat relevant. There it is. Ah. I have Steineger's art piece. He actually made this for book 1 at the time. And he sent me the original because he's a nice guy, right? Hashtag nice guys. So I'm thinking that I'll probably have this in book 2. It's a shame that I didn't have it in book 1. It looks really nice. As far as other guest artists, I wasn't really planning to, but maybe I'll do that. I'm not sure. Up in the air for now. Maybe I'll figure that out once like I have the main story finished. Ugh. But yeah, okay. Yes. Eagerly awaiting Reaper Book 2. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a really good one. And I'm gonna have a lot of fun streaming pages with you guys. So thank you for joining me. Remember guys, way long back, 2 extra issues coming out Valentine's Day. Get excited. Get excited for Reaper Book 2. And I'll see you guys on the next stream. Bye everybody.